Hey Wig Sisters, this is Megan and I'm coming to you today to talk to you about how to get your bio hair underneath your wig. So you can see my bio hair is pretty long. It has a lot of breakage and a lot of bald spots, unfortunately, since my thyroid cancer. But I do wear wigs quite a bit, and Belle Tress is one of my favorite wig brands. So today I'm going to show you how I put my hair up, and I'll show you a couple of my Belle Tress wigs. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need a wide tooth comb, which you should already have for your wig. You're going to need some bobby pins, and you're going to need some tiny little baby elastics. I like to use these just because they're clear and they hold well, and they work on fine hair really, really well. So my bio hair is actually naturally very curly and frizzy, and today I have just blown it out, but I wanted to make sure that you know before you begin, your hair should really be dry. If your hair is curly but it's fine, you don't have to straighten it. If it's curly and it's on the thicker side, you probably need to straighten it to be able to get a sleek look underneath your wig. So the first thing I want you to do is on your dry hair, you're gonna just part it down the middle, which I've already done. And then I usually go down the back too. This does not have to be neat at all because it's not gonna show. It's gonna be all up under your wig. So you just wanna get two sides of hair going. And if you want to clip one side, you can, just so you don't get messed up. But what you're gonna do is take your comb, and I like to go from the center of my part to like where my head starts to make the side. I have a really square forehead, so you can pick wherever you want. I have a pretty good line right there. So you're gonna just comb that up, and then you're gonna split that into two sections. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the top piece back and under the bottom piece. So now I'm just holding the bottom piece, and that top piece I let go, right? So now you can use your comb, or I usually just use my fingers. I just slide my finger in here a little bit, and I'm gonna grab some new hair under here, and I'm gonna make sure I also grab that piece I just wove under. So I'm gonna grab this, and then I'm just gonna loop that around the other piece. And same thing, I'm gonna hold on to the piece that I looped, and the one that I went over, I'm gonna leave it down, and I'm gonna take my finger and go in and get some more hair. So I'm just gonna continue to do this until I get to the back of my head. And I'm staying pretty close to my hairline with this because I'm pulling pretty tight. What I wanna do is create kind of a surface that allows my lace to lay flat, but at the same time gives it something to grab onto so it's not gonna slide off. A lot of times I don't even have to anchor my wigs at all when I do this. So again, I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm just taking my hand and grabbing some new hair and then going over the top, drop the section I just went over, grab a new one, and then I'm just gonna keep going. I hope you guys can see this. It's a horrible camera work, I know. I'm gonna keep going, holding all of my loops close to my head. And when I get to the end and I feel the last little bit of hair that I've gotten, I'm just gonna keep twisting those two pieces down. So I'm just going one over the other, one over the other, one over the other. And when I get to the end, I'm gonna take one of my tiny little elastics and put it on my pencil-sized hair braid that I've just made. Okay, so now I've got this. Don't let go. It's important that you don't let go. Okay, so now I've got this. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this tail, and going up and away from my head, I'm gonna stick this finger here for an anchor. If I can see there. And I'm just looping this around, and then you're gonna just tuck the end in. So I've just made a little loop, like a little bun out of that, right? So then you wanna take two bobby pins, and you're going to use the shorter side that has the teeth on it that side goes towards your head, which a lot of people screw that up. So it goes towards your head because those ridges help it stay put and not move. So you're gonna go ahead and just shove one of those in there, going sideways. I usually do another one going down from the top. So the object with that is to kind of make it an X, make a cross in the back of your head so the bobby pins are holding on to each other, because then it's not really going to go anywhere. And you can see, because of the way I've wrapped it, how flat that is. It doesn't really stick out a lot. If yours is longer or thicker and does stick out a little bit, make that little crescent roll, make it as wide as it needs to be to lay as flat to your head as possible. So you could come all the way up here with it if you need to get your loops to lay flatter. So I typically wear wigs that are shoulder length or longer, so I don't worry about my nape popping out a lot, but I do have a shorter wig that I can show you today where you can't see it with this either. It actually gives you some nice volume in the back. So now that we did that side, we're gonna come over here and take this out. Again, I'm gonna get my comb. I'm just gonna take that top section, and I don't know, maybe 3 inches back, maybe halfway back towards my hairline. I mean, this way on the part. So I've got my 2 sections. I'm gonna split them in 2, and then the bottom goes over the top. Drop that. Use your finger to grab more, plus the piece you let go, and just roll it over the top. Do the same thing again. So I've gotten to the point where I can do this without a mirror and pretty much without a comb. I can do it in less than 20 seconds, both sides, and be ready to put my wig on. So as you do this, you'll get more comfortable with it. So again, I'm gonna do this side a little bit faster. Make sure I got all the hair. Okay, now I've got this. I'm gonna put my elastic in. And oh, I didn't tell you the best part. When you take this hair out, it will give you really nice, like beachy mermaid waves, and you hardly have to do anything to it. Like, it will make your bio hair look really nice when you take it out, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna, again, start going to the outside and up, keeping my finger there to make somewhere for my loop to go. And then I've got one bobby pin that's gonna go down. I've got another one that's gonna go across. And remember to keep that short ridge side toward my head. And that's how the back of my hair will look before I put my wig on. Now, if your wig is not, or at least the roots are not, the same color as your bio hair, you may need to put a wig cap on at this point. If you're somebody who gets a lot of slip, you may want to put a wig grip or band on at this point. I have a fairly big head, so I don't usually have that problem. So the first wig that I want to show you today is this lady. This is a Belle Tress Sugar Rush, I believe, in Butterbeer Blonde. And you can see that her roots are like this medium brown that's pretty close to my bio hair. So this part of my hairline protrudes a lot, and in this color, it's fine because it matches. So what I'm gonna do is just take her off the wig head, and oh, looky at that. She's got her wig grip to keep her on there. I do usually comb my wigs, especially at the nape, before I put them on. You want to start at the bottom and then work your way up so that you're not creating tangles as you comb. I haven't worn this one in a while, so we'll see how this looks. center my hairline. I'm gonna grab a hold of my ear tabs and make sure they're where they ought to be. Now for this wig, since I pull these bangs kind of back a lot, I did do a little cheat and I sewed wig clips into this wig. So you can see right there's my wig clip. What I do is just snap that open and then I go into my natural hair and snap it closed. And now because I have that twist here, even if that clip slides a little bit, it can't slide far, right? Because I have that big thing anchoring it. I'll do the same thing on the other side. And this is more a function of me having a big head than any problem with the wig, so I'll show you the hairline. Okay, and then I'll turn to the side. You can see I don't have a bunch of bulky things sticking out. So my buns are like right here. So it's really not, looks like I have a straight bobby pin in here. Let's throw that in. But you can see you really have to look for it if you want to find some bulk down here. For the most part, what it does, it pushes the bottom of the wig away from my head. And so what that does is it actually stops your nape from tangling quite so much because it's not laying exactly flat. So it really does have a lot of benefits doing it this way. So I will take this little clippy out. That's how I keep her on her wig stand, just so you can see this style. Again, this is not a wig that I grab a lot just because it's kind of it's the bangs, honestly. I need to thin the bangs and make them into lovely, gorgeous curtain bangs, and I just haven't done it yet because I just haven't. I have other wigs that I wear a lot. So you can see it, well, I can't see it, but I've got all these wispy things in my face. It drives me crazy. So what I do for that is just take a little bit, this is water. I just spray a little bit of water there in the areas where I'm having trouble. And then I'm gonna comb through it. If I still feel like it's not doing what I want, you can use this. This is a hot comb that I got on Amazon for less than $20. It's red by Kiss. I like this because I can see the heat and it goes down to 270 degrees, which is a nice low heat for synthetic wigs. Sometimes if I only have one thing to do, I'll even turn it on and then just turn it off so I can use it as an even lower heat. So if I turn it off right now, then what you can do with a hot comb is all those hairs that want to, you will hear sizzling, that's okay. It's making steam, that's good. That means that it's gonna stay. So you can see now where I did that. Ooh, don't burn yourself, I do it all the time. I can't find the hair because of this light, but here we go. You can see wherever I do that, like it trains the hair back where I want it to be instead of having it fall into my face. And I could do this, you know, you can use this to make a part. You can use it to stop face flop. You can use it to kind of smooth the sides down so that it hugs your hair better. You can even use this on your bio hair underneath to smooth it out and make it stay. So, yeah. So again, that is Sugar Rush by Belle Tress. And I'm gonna take this one off now so I can show you a different one that's a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna undo these clips. I just snap them open. And I'll show you these clips up a little more closely. I usually sew them just like 1/4 of an inch back and above the ends of the ear tabs. I've just found for me that's the best place to put them. It helps the wig stay flat on the sides and stay on and all of that. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. So the next wig I wanted to show you is, this is Honey with Chai Latte Vienna Roast by Belle Tress. Now this one has been modified by me, so if you get Vienna Roast, she's a lot of hair, it's very poofy, there's a lot of face flop, but if you thin it, and I highly recommend Patty's Pearls on YouTube has a great tutorial on how to thin a wig. That is how I learned how to do it. And I also recommend getting a cheap wig and trying it on that first before you start tackling your more high-end wigs. So, okay. So our Honey with Chai Latte is the mono part with the lace front, and I do have wig clips sewn into her as well. So I'm gonna close those so they don't grab me on the way in. So again, I'm just pushing those buns up over in the back. I'm gonna make sure that my ear tabs are centered so that I know it's laying correctly. And then I can open my wig clips and anchor this wig down. And again, because this wig has a medium brown root, it matches my hair really well. So when this happens, who cares, right? So again, if you're gonna comb her, do it from the bottom and work your way up. This is a wig, as I said, that I did thin a lot. I think I have recurled her a couple of times using a foam roller and steam. And I did mention that she was a face flopper. Not so much, since I thinned out everything. She kind of is in submission at this point. But again, I can just show you, you can see how this piece kind of wants to go all up in my face. So I'm just gonna hit that with a little bit of water. And oh, I should mention, there is John Renault heat protectant on this wig anyway. So like I've sprayed that before, and so like it's still there. So normally you would not just go in with water. You want to use a synthetic wig heat protectant for sure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that back where I want it. And then for these side part wigs, what I like to do is kind of go a little bit back to where those wefts are and just kind of direct everything back with my hot comb. And that just helps keep it where you want it to be by going back. Because if you only do the front and all of these side wefts, you know, are directed forward, that just doesn't work. So you really have to like find out where is that flop coming from and what can I do to stop it. So I do start a little bit further back typically. And then you see I'm not brushing through the curls, I'm not trying to straighten it, I'm just trying to get it out of my face. Probably used a little bit too much water, but you can see already, like if I just leave it like that, I can shake and it's not trying to come in my face anymore, just from that little bit of water and that little bit of heat. So let me just mess with this a little bit. Yeah, so that's this. And oh, I said I would show you the back on a shorter wig. So you can see, because this one is curly, it has a lot of volume anyway, great for hiding the buns in the back. And you can see like my bun is right there and right there, but you're not gonna really know that, right, unless I told you. So it can work with the bob wigs as well, this style. This is my go-to when I'm doing theater. I know in the theater a lot of people use pin curls, and that is technically the correct way to do theater wigs, but this is so much faster and it's easier to teach people how to do this little twisty thing. And when the show is over and they let their natural hair down, it looks amazing, so they love you. And yeah, it's just great. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because I have to go out. I mean, I could wear it out, I guess, but it's hot, so I'm just not going to right now. I'm not going anywhere important. I don't know in that short time if my bio hair is gonna look good or not, but I just figured I'd stay on and show you. So yeah, I mean, just in that short time, that's what I got. Not bad, not bad. Would be even better if I had left it longer. So yeah, now I can take my wig off and have, you know, this beachy mermaid hair. And yeah, I hope that's helpful. I love you guys. Mwah! See you later.